before we talk Jedi Survivor, because I really want to talk about that, but
Yeah.
we watched the movie. Um, you and I had the opportunity to watch Peter Pan and Wendy, the
Yes.
movie that came out on Disney Plus. And you said that you were divided on it.
Yeah.
Um, I okay,
Go for it. Go for it.
all right. It was really boring, dude. It was really boring. I think that to the movie's detriment, right? And nothing against the child actors. Everyone was good. Jude Law was great as Captain Hook. And they try to spin it around, make it different, make it new, right? Um, but you could tell that this is like the man, I I don't want to offend anyone. I want to be very because we we pride ourselves into being very you know centered
Sure.
with our discussions, reviews slash opinions about this sort of thing. Um, but you know I try to just block like okay I'm gonna go in open mind. This is fine. I'm gonna go in. But then the thing, it's so on the nose, dude. Like some of the changes are so on the nose, and I mean it doesn't come across preachy, right? Because it really doesn't. But everything is really on the nose, and it's very unfortunate that this story was a beloved story for many years had to go through that. Granted, a lot of the things that some people may consider to be problematic with the original Disney movie are moved around a little bit where it's not really a problem anymore. Um, that said, it's just that I just found the movie just really boring, man, and
Mm.
you know unfortunately it wasn't that good. Okay, before I pass it to you. I mean, I gotta talk about Tinkerbell, right? Because that's the big deal. That's the
Sure.
everyone was
Sure.
up in arms about it.
Sure. Yeah.
Um, I do have a problem with Tinkerbell because the CG is
Sure.
awful. It's not nothing against the actress and
Yeah.
against the casting choice. Not no, I'm totally open, right? But the
Yeah.
CG, like she looks so fake in some of the
Yeah. They
shots.
they did her bad. Yeah.
Ooh,
Yeah.
it's rough, dude.
Yeah.
Like all around, the CG in this movie is just not good, and you can tell
Yeah.
that this is a lower budget compared to other movies that are out there. But at the same time, you compared like the CG for Little Mermaid still looks kind of iffy from the you know TV
True.
spots
True.
and trailers. So
Yeah.
uh, yeah, that's basically how I feel about the movie. Right? I think Peter Pan, like the character as portrayed in this movie, is was kind of like a annoying and I just, like there was nothing relatable and like he's not really playful like you would see in other movies, right? And yeah, and Peter Pan like live action movies have a problem, right? They have a high standard, and the high standard is that they all have to be compared with Hook, and none of these movies like the Universal movie that came out in 2004 5 was good. And there was another one that came out not too long ago. I had like it completely faded into obscurity. I don't even remember. But then and then this one, right? But then you got to go back and compare it with Hook, which is unfortunate. This is a movie directed by Steven Spielberg, starring some of the best actors ever. It's rough. It's rough. So, uh, yeah. What are your takes on this thing, man?
Yeah. Yeah. Good breakdown. No, good breakdown, Obed, on your thoughts there, because it's I think people a lot of people critiqued this and they didn't have a very good way of expressing their criticisms, and I think you articulated in a way that I think is very fair, and that's good. Yeah, I'm very divided because this movie was very like you said boring. To me, I would refer to as droggy. Like I had interest. I'm not gonna. I have watched things before. I literally like, have fallen asleep or just didn't care about. Like I'm just gonna be, and it wasn't because I was tired. It just literally just I just didn't care. You know, but this one I was able to actually watch it because it's a short movie.
It's
It's not really
short.
that
So
long of
it's
a
an hour
movie
and a half.
too.
Yeah.
I think that helps it too. Like if they would have tried to push it too much longer, then that could have been a problem. So with them both cutting out content, they also cut down runtime on the movie too, which I think was a good choice. As for like I mentioned to you, like the things that they did cut out, it's like that's great, but the issue then is that it almost felt like a little bit soulless is the wording I would describe to it. So like, you have fun scenes and you have cool moments, but it didn't make you feel a great sense of necessarily adventure or feelings that maybe you would have associated with Peter
Yeah.
Pan before. Now, does that mean that that you should put this other content back in? No, it's not what that means at all, right? The stuff that's been problematic before. I think if anything, history would like what do you want the legacy to be for New Disney, right? Like you can at least look back and say, well, we did this thing, it didn't work out, but at least we're not going to be, etched in stone with something that's from the past that, maybe didn't age as well. I think that's long term better for your the marketing and the brand. I mean, you think of really just as overall as a company, but you cannot keep doing this with remakes. Like I think about The Lion King for an example. I like the Lion King remake. I think John Favreau. I like John Favreau. I think he did a good job.
Yeah.
But it's the same thing. They recreated basically the same thing, but just did it with CG. So it just didn't feel as maybe powerful conveyed as when you have something that's in a cartoon animation format. That's kind of how I feel with this. It was not the same thing from a story standpoint, but it just felt like nice time, nothing extra special, or as my dad always likes to use this terminology, nothing to run home about, you know? And you all got to watch this movie. It's not that kind of a movie. It's fine for watching at home on television. I think they made the right choice by doing that. But there's so many little things they could have done that made it more special. I think the coloring, like just the poor coloring of this movie.
Oh yeah.
And it changes though. It's not from the whole time
No.
because at the very beginning of the movie, it's okay.
It's
It's more
yeah.
at night. It's whatever. They go off to what looks like New Zealand or something, right? It's
Yeah. They
like
go
they're
to Middle
flying.
Earth.
All the kids are flying in, over here like
Yeah.
Superman, and then out of nowhere, I'm like, what just happened? It's the coloring goes like a 2006, looking like, bad filter over it.
You know what? And I now that you pointed out, yeah,
It's really weird.
because I watched it in Dolby Vision, and you can really tell that the coloring is really poor. Like
It's
none of
really
the
bad.
like the colors don't pop. Like there's like it's just very strange. Like the
Like if you're
what?
gonna make a
Yeah,
movie for kids, you need to make it
yeah,
vibrant. You need
yeah.
to make it feel
It's like all of a
fun.
sudden Zack Snyder sneaked in the studio and flipped the
Yes,
switch
it did feel
to
like
like
Zack Snyder. Yeah,
put the Justice League switch on
yeah, yeah.
and turn
We
off
should
the
look up the
colors.
editor on this. We should
Turn
look
the
up the editor on this movie. What
turn the
else have they
colors
worked
off.
on?
So
um, but yeah, outside of that, I don't like. I see the reviews on it, right? You and I talk like, okay, so like right now on Rotten Tomatoes, it's sitting at a 64 by the critics, right? To me, I think that's actually fair. I would say
yeah,
it's about 6.5. I would say that's fair
it's
for what it is.
IGN gave it a 6. I think I agree with that.
I think that's fair.
Yeah.
I've seen some really bad. I think some people are just so hard. I'm like, have you
No, no,
guys
no,
seen
no.
some of these movies out there?
I saw,
I've
oh,
seen
dude. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
like
I
I could
agree.
watch this. I could sit there and not be like, my skin feels like it's coming off because I'm just so troubled by what I'm seeing. Wasn't that? But like, compared to like you mentioned Mario, right? How the heck does Mario have like a 50? That movie should have been a 90, maybe even 100%. I'm biased. Yes, I said what I said. But come on,
Yeah.
bro. What movie were they watching?
I agree. And then the thing with Mario, right, is like it's still like blowing everyone's socks off in the box office, and
Yeah.
you know, I mean, it looks like the legs are almost done, right? It comes out next week on digital,
Yeah.
but it proved itself, and the problem is that with like this sort of movies from especially the remakes from Disney, they they should, like, I'm concerned about the Moana live action
Oh, sure.
because
I'm
it's
concerned too. Yeah.
because everything, not everything, right? Because I think Beauty and the Beast was good. I think Cinderella was good. I think Cinderella is actually
Cinderella's really
underrated.
good. Yes,
Yeah,
Cinderella's really
honestly.
good.
And then Lion King was good, right? And it has the problem where, fortunately, because of the art style, um, the animals conveying emotion, it's hard, right? But there was a point where it just started going. I think like after Aladdin,
Yeah.
that was the
Yeah.
point, right? Because I
Like
think,
Mulan wasn't that
oh
great.
my
It
gosh,
was it
but
was it was the
I
same
think
thing, like very kind of,
Aladdin was infuriating to me because
whoa, whoa.
they cut the best parts of the movie. They cut the end fight. There's no end fight, and it's awful, dude.
Sorry. Aladdin's infuriating.
It is, dude.
Wow, man.
I,
So one of the good ones I think that's also underrated is The Lady and the Tramp on the Disney Plus Lady and the Tramp. I think
there's the
that's
first one that
good.
came out on Disney Plus. Yeah,
Right, the first one that came, I think that's pretty good. It's again short, it's fun at home. CG looks pretty good. I could have watched that in a theater.
yeah. Man, what else did he do? Remember when they did 101 Dalmatians back in the 90s and it was excellent?
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Michael Eisner, dude. He knew what he was
Oh,
doing.
I know.
Yeah.
Although I think like Cruella, right? Like that,
And
I
that,
think was good.
I
Cruella's
haven't
good.
watched it yet. And you told me it was
Oh
good. My
no,
wife liked it. Yeah.
I think it's actually really funny. Like it's really, really good. But like you think about it, they took again something that's a classic tale, but just told it from a different angle. Because it is still the dome. It's still the story. That's what I like about it. They didn't go too crazy with it. Um,
Yeah.
yeah, I kind of, they did do some changes with Peter Pan, so they didn't a lot of changes. Like even just who Captain Hook is,
Yeah.
yeah, I don't know. It just, I think, hopefully they can add a little more excitement to the movies.
Okay.
Um,
So here's what I got. So I went and looked for a list
mm,
of the remakes. So we got Lion
yeah.
King. We talked about Mulan. We mentioned it, right? I think Jungle Book was good.
Oh, Jungle Book's
Jungle was
great.
good. Cinderella again was good. Maleficent. I think that first one's not bad, but then that second one, oh, I think that's real bad, dude. That movie's not good. Not good at all. I mean, I can see why it got delayed. Like, I don't know, it was nuts. But um, and then we got the Alice movies, the Tim Burton ones. I think the first one's real good.
Yeah, I
Uh,
think so too.
yeah, the second one. See, I can't remember the second one. That tells you something, right? And then we got the Peter Pan one, and then there's in the works Sword in the Stone, Hercules that are in the works, Hunchback of Notre Dame's in the works. Pinocchio got like destroyed when it came out.
I have not seen the new Pinocchio. Have
No,
you?
because like I heard what everyone said, right? Which, according to you know the Academy, is the right choice. Is just go watch the Del Toro Pinocchio, not watch this
Yeah,
one. Yeah.
yeah. Which I
So
haven't seen that either yet,
yeah,
but
which
yeah.
actually, like, my wife watched this one and she said that she liked it. So I
Interesting.
mean, it could be good. So
Interesting.
yeah. But yeah, man, it's a I don't know, Dumbo, that was the thing too. Yeah.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
I mean, we'll see what happens to Little Mermaid, and whatever happens after that. I'm sure that they already have a few of them planned after Moana. Haunted Mansion comes out, and what by Halloween,
Doesn't
right?
yeah,
It,
doesn't strike my fancy.
yeah, it looks okay. It doesn't really good, look that great.
Tower of
So,
Terror, isn't that supposed to be one also coming?
I don't know. Did you ever watch that Tower of Terror one with Kristen Dunst?
No, I
No,
never saw that.
that was
No, I
fun.
never watched
I,
it.
I was a kid
Sure,
back then when it came out
sure,
because it was like when the ride was first open.
sure.
Yeah, I watched it on Disney Channel when I was a kid. I was like, oh, that's fun. I did the ride. Now I know the thing. So whatever.
Yeah.
In hindsight, it's probably not a good movie at all. But for kids. Um, but yeah, we'll see what happens with the future projects.